Good morning, everyone. It's Robert from On My Turntable. Hope you're having a great morning this morning. It is Friday morning. As always, a coffee kind of morning. Back at you again with another video. I just finished entering Richard McCook's contest celebrating his 3 years in the BC. Wonderful, wonderful contest. I put the link below to his channel on my channel as well, on my video entry. Go to his channel, like, subscribe, leave wonderful, wonderful comments. Great, great person. And there's a ton of contests going on in the BC, so I thought I'd run my own again. It's been a while since I've had a contest going. And this is my push to 700 subscriber contest. I think I'm at 682. I'd love to get past 7. I'd love to get to 1,000. That's my ultimate goal. And then from then on, wherever it goes. But a pretty straightforward contest. Name 5 albums that had the biggest influence on you as a teenager. And whether that influence was to discover a new genre of music, get into a band, whatever that influence was. Just to talk about the album itself, how it influenced you, and the reasons for that. And pretty straightforward. It's kind of cool idea. Also gets you thinking back to the way it was. And I had to. It's been a couple years since I've been a teenager. So the draw is going to be on February 25th, almost a month from now. Obviously, you have to be a subscriber. Let me know that you've created a video by leaving it on my channel. And the draw is going to be for a $30 Amazon gift card. So good luck to everyone that enters. I hope to have a lot of entries in here, and hope again to push to 700 plus subs. So that's my ultimate goal. So 5 albums that had the biggest influence on me as a teenager. This is always going to be my favorite album, and it still stands up today as it did way back when I first heard it, when I was 11 or 12. I can't remember the exact time frame. One of my first albums I ever got, Machine Head by Deep Purple. Again, this is not the original. This is a remastered version of it, but one of my favorite albums, one of my favorite bands. 1971 release, 6th album by the band, recorded in Montreux, Switzerland. They had booked the Montreux Casino as a venue to record the album. But during a Frank Zappa contest, I keep on saying contest, during a Frank Zappa concert at the casino, someone brought a flare gun in and burned the place to the ground. So Deep Purple had to find a new recording venue. They hired and used the Rolling Stone mobile unit to record, and I think that's what gave it maybe the grittier sound of the album. It's tight. Every song I love the deep tracks on it as well. I got Maybe I'm a Leo, Pictures of Home, Never Before. Then you got the classics like Highway Star and Lazy and Space Truck, and of course Smoke on the Water. Smoke on the Water, of course, inspired me to learn guitar. I never learned it correctly, the song, and I don't think any other kid did, but every record store or guitar store hated Smoke on the Water because every kid would come in and try and play that song on the guitar. But mainly it started my journey into rock music, and heavier rock music. Of course, you hear a lot of tracks on the radio, and at the time, way back when, it was lighter tracks, poppier tracks. This one just kind of hit you in the face with great straight ahead hard rock, early forms of heavy metal as well. And I think again, 11 or 12 that I really got into this, and fantastic album. Really influenced me to begin my journey into classic rock. I didn't know what classic rock was back in the day, but this was definitely a journey, and it still, again, stands up today as one of my favorite albums. As well as this band, I think it was, again, 12 or 13 when I got into this next one. So just like Deep Purple, This is Grand Funk. We're an American band. Again, still one of my favorites today. Every track stands up. 1973 release, the seventh album by the band, produced by Todd Rundgren, which made it gave it a more polished sound than their previous raw sound that they had. The band became a quartet rather than a trio, which added another dimension to their sound. They hired Craig Frost, who was a stand-in on a couple other albums. He became a permanent member on keyboards, which freed up Mark Farner just to concentrate on singing and playing guitar. You got big hits like "Walk Like a Man," and again, I got this one not long after Machine Head. I love the groove of the album. Two lead singers, and Mark Farner and Don Brewer. So cool. And back in public school, or grade school, I guess as you call it in the States, we were able to bring albums in every Friday. The music teacher was pretty cool. So during music class, we were able to play an album of our choice on Friday afternoon. So I was playing this one up against other guys and girls, sorry, who brought in Zeppelin, Zeppelin 1, Zeppelin 2. And I thought it stood up against those albums. I mean, of course, classic Zepp 1 and Zepp 2 for sure. But so me and three other guys started playing some of the school dances and stuff. Again, we tried to play Smoke on the Water. We tried to play Stairway to Heaven. We knew the opening track of Stairway to Heaven, but then the heavy riff. But I don't think we sounded that good. I'd love to hear a recording of it back then. Also tried to do Walk Like a Man off of this one. But we wanted to play like Mark Farner and Richie Blackmore and Jimmy Page and all those great guitarists, but there was no way we were going to do that. But it really influenced me to, again, listen to a different form of more rock music than the heavier Deep Purple. More rhythmic, again, the cool, different singers in Mark Farner and Don Brewer. So you got We're an American Band, Stop Looking Back, Creepin', Black Licorice, The Railroad, Ain't Got No One, or Nobody, sorry, Walk Like a Man, and Loneliest Rider. Just cool tracks, and love this album. Love it to death. Next, just as where's my notes here? As I was getting into Deep Purple and Grand Funk, someone introduced me to this album. I didn't hear their first album, but this was, I think, maybe the better way to go as far as introduction into this band, Black Sabbath, from the album Paranoid. Again, it's my first taste of even heavier music than Machine Head. Great 70s release, and the second album by the band. I hadn't heard any of their other albums or any of their discography, which I have quite a bit now. Again, I think Paranoid was a good start for me into Black Sabbath. My parents didn't like it. They didn't like the name. I didn't really play it. I had headphones on at the time, but they didn't like the name. They didn't like the album cover either. Not that they were prudes. They were into classic country, which I absolutely love today. Didn't like it back then, but they didn't understand, Black Sabbath, like Sabbath. They were churchgoers, not religiously, no pun intended, but they thought that title wasn't appropriate. But it was dark, it was heavy, it was haunting, it was. I just like a lot of teenagers. I was starting to experiment with other things, and that's my this was my influence, I guess, as far as expanding my mind into different areas and different realms of teenage life. I never heard songs like these guys before, like War Pigs and Paranoid. I heard Paranoid on the radio, on the classic rock radio, quite a bit. But you got Planet Caravan, Iron Man. That always made me think of a huge giant. Of course, it's a soundtrack now to the movie Iron Man, but it had nothing to do with that back in the day. It's this huge iron giant that I thought of. Electric Funeral, Hand of Doom, Fairs Wear Boots. What the hell is that? What the hell is that? You know. So it just brought up all these imageries, and it really influenced me in so many ways to dig this kind of music. And then from then, I got into, quite by accident, my parents were invited to the minister's house with him and his wife. And of course, the kids, after supper, the kids go downstairs. Well, the minister's son said, "I want you to listen to this one." And he threw this one on. Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. It's an experience from start to finish. Of course, I had the headphones on at the time, and I just couldn't believe the sound that was coming out of this album. And I would listen to it over and over again. It was introduced again by that minister's son, which was a weird thing to start off with. But I really wanted this album. I worked and worked and worked, doing all kinds of chores. So I split the cost with my parents to buy me this one. It's really cool of them to do that. But it got me into more experimental music. That was the influence. It just, again, it's a start to finish album. I would listen to this daily for hours at a time, and just get lost. Lay in my bed with the headphones on, and just get lost in this album and all these imageries of everything going on, all the sounds and noises coming out of this album. And the stuff that you don't hear unless you have it in headphones. And of course, those other influences from that were occurring in my life from Black Sabbath as well were kicking in, and it really just got me. So this is an amazing album, still from start to finish. But it got me, and again, it's just as Dark Side of the Moon got me into cool music. This was a favorite as well, Crime of the Century. This was again another album from start to finish, and it's a third album, 1974 release. Of course, you got Bloody Well Right was the heaviest track by Supertramp, and I just always loved that song. But you got the opening harmonies and the screaming of School, Hide in Your Shell, Asylum, Dreamer, Rudy. If everyone was listening, of course, the title track, Crime of the Century. But it took you on a journey. Again, it's almost a concept album. It just really, but it inspired me to discover more bands and appreciate more forms of music, other than just straight ahead rock and roll, which I still loved. But as most kids were getting into bands like Kiss, I was getting into, of course, Dark Side of the Moon, Crime of the Century, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Jethro Tull. I discovered War Child before I discovered Aqualung. I thought War Child was such a cool album, with all the pictures on the album coinciding with the songs on the album. I thought that was so cool. But I still love straight ahead rock and roll. It got me into bands like BTO and Aerosmith and the whole bit, and the rest is history. But with albums like Crime of the Century, again, a start to finish album. And Paranoid, or sorry, with the Dark Side, their journeys in their own right. And of course, you've got Sabbath and Deep Purple and Grand Funk. Oh, so many great bands. But it just continued on and continued on, and of course the rest is history. I am where I am today, still loving this music, but discovering so much more in my musical taste. So there's my contest. You don't have to be long and drawn out as I do, but just show me 5 albums that influenced you and what the influences were as a teenager. And good luck to everyone. Again, a chance to win a $30 Amazon gift card. And the draw is going to be on the 25th of February. Let me know if you've subscribed in the comments below. And take care and have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye now.